Hello YouTube, Elite Legionarii here, bringing you a 5-player free-for-all for Rome Total War. This time I will command the Seleucid Empire, and my opposition will be the Julli Romans under Thurin, and the back there, you can see them up there, is Parthia under Baltic 000, and there is Armenia under Acadian, and I think it's Carthage under Jackrabbit. So I'll outline my army first, and then if I get the time before it engages, I'll outline everyone else's. If I can't do that, I'll just pause and do it that way. So this is a meat shield here, because Rome was going to be right next to me, so I anticipate I may need that. Or I will definitely need to get to Rome. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 units of, I believe they are gold silver shield pikemen. One of them's got my general. I think it was 5, I think it was either 4 or 5 units of gold archers, and I think it was 4 units of gold cataphracts. So a fairly standard force, in my opinion. So that's me. Obviously my powers and my cataphracts, particularly against this Roman player who's got no missile units. I've also got 2 units of gold Jav cav, and I'm going to pepper some of these Praetorian cavs, so I can need to beat the Praetorian cav quickly. Otherwise my infantry is going to get smoked by these urban cohort. As you can see, he's got 1. Let's see, he's got 1, 2, 3. I think he's got 4. I think there's either 4 or 5 urban cohorts, and I think they've got gold and 2 experience, so they're extremely powerful. The cavalry, I think, is gold. And there's, let's see, 1, 3, I think there's 5 of them as well, and they're gold, but the urbans are extremely heavily upgraded. My infantry is just not going to stand a chance against these urban cohorts. They're going to get absolutely annihilated. And these the problem I have is these Praetorian cav won't be as strong as my cataphracts, but what they will be is strong enough to make the fight last a long time, in which case the urbans will just destroy my infantry. So my only real advantage here is my archers, so I have to make sure I use them correctly so I can pepper as many of these Praetorian cav as I possibly can. So that's the Roman force. So let's have a look at the Parthian. He's got, looks to be 2, I'm thinking the gold Persian cavalry, the stronger cavalry unit there. He's got 6 units of cataphracts, and they look to be silver, and 2. He's actually technically broken CWB there. He's got, I didn't realise that at the time, he's got 2 cataphract camels. They look to be silver as well, but the 2 horse archers actually takes that to, that's actually 10. That's actually too many. I don't think I realised that at the time, but oh well, whatever. I'll just try and catch the other 2 if I can. Where are they? I'm sure they're over here somewhere. Let's see. So the Armenian's got 1. He's got a cataphract archer, 2 of those, and he's got 2 cataphracts, and actually I better get back over here because the battle's starting. So I made a bit of a blunder. One of my archer units got way too far forward there. And I'm a little concerned too because this Parthian's right there. So this is the problem with a 5-player free-for-all, is always some players not going to have an opponent. So he eventually has to sort of disrupt the fight if he wants to win, especially in a scored game. If it's not a scored game, he can just camp, and I never like that to happen. So, oh no, these weapons are just gold, my bad. I just got muddled and all that, and it's 5 Praetorian cav. So one of my, between my Jav cav and my archers, I've thinned this unit down quite a bit. And it's a bit of a nuisance too, because the Parthian's kind of picking away at, I'm pretty sure he's picking away at me, but, although he might start picking away at Rome's flanks, and that's fine by me. So here I rush my Peeler shield out here to stall him, while I get some more shots in and to stop him getting Peeler in, and I'm going to get in here now, and I make a blunder with, he gets a better charge here, and I do not do a very good, I quickly try to counter this before I get hit in the sides too much, but unfortunately I don't actually think of this, and he gets the unit around. Fortunately though, I got my militia Jav cav coming in to add support, and missile fires going into these guys. I want to quickly beat them. Over here, obviously his urbans will win this fight, although I'm doing quite well at the moment. The reason I'm holding so long is because there's so many of my men, and as soon as I get this big rout coming in over here, because I get my militia Jav cav, I'm going to free this unit up. I want to very quickly save my silver shield pikemen from getting annihilated by these urbans. But unfortunately the Parthian's coming in right now, so I have very little way of saving my archers at this point, which are going to get annihilated. I'm going to try and save them here. I quickly beat the Praetorian Cav, thanks to my Jav Cav offering support there, even though I got slightly outmaneuvered there, which was actually poor work on my part. So repeated strikes into the back of these urbans is really all I can do at this point, and hopefully I can free my men up. And I'm going to keep going here, and now these Parthians are right on my flank, and it's really annoying that he had to target me. I was hoping he'd target the Roman, because the Romans got more valuable infantry, so they're more valuable to kill them. But I rout the Roman general here, and I keep my urbans in here, my cataphracts in here to help my guys here destroy these guys that are coming in, but I'm going to pull out of that. It's very chaotic. I'm trying to pull my archers around here to save them from getting hit, so I can get a few more shots. So I think if the Parthian hadn't interfered, I would have beaten the Roman player. And there's the Roman general. I'm certain I would have beaten the Roman player. I do rout one of the Parthian cataphracts. And I'm going to pepper more shots in here with my archers, and I'm going to bring in my pikemen here and my cataphracts to try and destroy some more. And I'm going to try and do an encirclement. Come from this side, get my pikes in and hold from this side and destroy these cataphracts. So I'm getting some very high quality kills here. I've got most of the urbans, I've got all the Praetorian Cav, and I've got a few of these Parthian cataphracts as well. So I've done quite well there. Obviously I'm not going to survive to the end of this fight because of Parthia, but I am going to be strong enough to I've killed a lot of very high quality kills, so I was confident I was in with a good chance. But the Roman makes up for that, and he kills my general, which is a pain. Some of his urbans have survived, not very many of them though. And I'm certain looking at it now that I had enough cataphracts left, and I had enough archers and pinning silver shield pikemen that I could have cleaned out the rest of his urbans had this Parthian player not interrupted. I mean, sure, some people would complain and whinge at the Parthian player, but he is the odd one out. He doesn't have an opponent, and he has to get points to win. So at some point you have to be a bit doggy-dog and ruin someone else's battle. I mean, it does suck, and I hate to have to do it, but sometimes you have to. And now I'm trying to reorganise my forces, but some of my cataphracts are routing here, by the way, and I was trying to get away from some of these cataphracts, but I kind of run into these urbans, and the Roman player still wants to fight me. I was hoping at this point the Roman player would team up with me, and we'd at least deplete Parthia enough that he couldn't stop me, and that he wouldn't get too many kills. But unfortunately the Roman player still wants my head. So I'm going to try and finish off the rest of these urbans, but of course urbans are going to be a tough opposition, and they're going to be pretty hard to kill here. And the Parthians is going to completely interrupt this, and they're very content on killing me for some reason. I'm not actually sure why. Those urbans are more valuable to kill than my cataphracts, I think. Or about equal, but there's more of those urbans than there are my cataphracts. So killing those urbans before killing my cataphracts would actually benefit the Parthian player more. His urbans are of more value, and there's more of them. Cataphracts, urbans are probably pretty equal, but I had a lot less cataphracts left there in that fight. So the fight basically is just a draw between me and Rome, although I'm pretty certain I had quite a lot of cataphracts left when I started those hammer and anvils, but the Parthians didn't give us much of a chance there, so both of us kind of get destroyed by that. But I'm 85% sure I would have beaten Thorin's Roman army here, because a lot of those urbans were ready to rout, and I had still quite a lot of archers left and cataphracts. So the Parthians obviously going to clean us out. So over here, Carthage and Armenia is pretty close. Now, if I look like Armenia had a lot of infantry, which is an interesting choice against Carthage. But I think the Carthaginians going to come out on top of this one. Looks like they're a mixture, probably just a standard armies of Sacred Band hoplites, that sort of thing. But it looks like there was Armenian legionnaires, Armenian spearmen, and cataphract archers and cataphracts. I didn't really get the time to catch that army, but it looked that way. But it looks like the cavalry fight was actually quite potent to the Armenian player, by the looks of it. More so than both of them look like they've pretty much nullified each other, but I'm guessing from this point that Carthage is obviously going to win this, but it will be very close. So if I remember correctly, I managed to pull out a unit of cataphracts, and I'm going to use this to run down anything I can. Now, it isn't the ideal unit for doing so because it's a cataphract. Which one of my militia jab cab probably survived because it could have run down routers really quickly, but never mind. And I'm going to try and do my best to get kills here. The Parthian's probably in with a very good chance though, because he killed a lot of my cataphracts, and that's a very high value unit, and a lot of these urban cohort, which are also an extremely high value unit. So he's killed a lot of high value units, and he's got quite a lot of our units. He's got both our armies, well, a good half of our armies each, so he's killed quite a lot of units. The Armenian player's probably got some good chances too, because if he's killed lots of Sacred Band, then he's probably got some very high quality kills. But there's a Carthaginian general anyway. But Carthage will win that fight, I think. For the most part, Carthage shall win that fight.
This is no way for a leader to behave, but in battle it is beyond belief.
So I might just triple speed at this point, guys, because there's a lot of sort of not much happening at this point, and there's still quite a bit of time to go. If you want to skip forward a few minutes, feel free to do so, unless you want to listen to me talking. But yeah, like I was saying with 5-player free-for-alls, they are inclined to, they're not, this always does happen in a 5-player free-for-all. Actually, let's catch the rest of these guys here. These are Urbans getting finished off by the rest of the Parthian forces.
Frightened rabbits running from our men.
So that fight was kind of, it is frustrating when it happens, but I mean the Parthian player didn't do anything wrong. I mean, he has to get kills. It's a scored resolution free-for-all, so he can't just sit around and do nothing. I mean, I've had to do that to it. I don't like it when I've had to do it, because if you don't do it, you don't win. You have no show of it. So the best way to get around it is to just play even numbered free-for-alls, 4, 6, 8, because otherwise you'll find that you're just simply, it looks like the rest of the Armenian forces get routed, and I'm going to try and chase them down with my cataphracts here, as you can see. But as I was saying, if playing even free-for-alls means everyone gets an opponent and it's fair. Whereas if it's like 3 or 5 or 7, there's always someone who doesn't actually have an opponent from the beginning, and so unless one person can beat down another fast and that person can turn around, they've got an even balance, there's always going to be a bit of an unbalanced sort of thing going on there. So anyway, guys, I'd suggest you skip ahead, and yeah, I mean, sure, some of you are probably wondering why I don't just skip it out, because I don't have any good editing software. Every time I try and edit something like that, the quality of my video gets reduced. It annoys me. If you know any good editing software that I can use to skip out big, long, drawn-out scenes like this, I would be appreciative, because I don't. It needs to be free, because I don't have a lot of cash to spend on these things. And I don't know what's good either. So anyway, let's catch this this particular scrap here. The Parthian's just going to surround and use. Don't think he's got any no missiles left for this Persian cavalry. And over here, I managed to actually knock out half of this Persian. Sorry I didn't catch it, guys, but as you can see, there's quite a lot of dead Persian cav there. So I got a few extra kills on the Parthian there. I was quite pleased with myself for that. But he actually has broken CWB because he brought 10 cavalry units, including these 6 cataphracts, 2 cataphract camels, that's 8, and then 2 horse archers, 10. So he actually did break CWB's rule in there, but at the time I don't recall actually noticing it. So that, I mean, it's not a big deal. It doesn't really. No, I don't think anyone really knows. It doesn't really matter so much, but. He's going to win, so he's going to be the last man standing more by default than anything else. So the the Carthaginian player Jack Rabbit's kind of interfused his forces so that he's got pikes sticking every way. And I mean, Sacred Band will do a good job of holding out here, but the sheer weight of numbers is going to get arrayed against him here is going to be quite, destructive on him. And this is where he makes a mistake. He separates this unit out. He should have stayed in that clumped formation where he could just spread his pikes like in a big circle, and just hope that he could hold out against the weight of numbers. It's what I would have done, but he spread himself out here. So, and he's also he's in column there. So if he gets hammered real hard by a good charge here in the side where pikes won't count as an effect, he'll lose a lot of men. But he needs to get back into that original grouping formation he had. Like now it's quite, there's a lot of cluster of pikes sticking in every direction, and then it's covering everything, every angle there, and that's really the best he can do with what he's got here. He can still inflict a lot of casualties on this Parthian player, being that Sacred Band are extremely strong pike units. But unfortunately for him, the Parthian didn't charge him when he was in like column like that. See, like a good charge right here, right in this area here, and the Parthian would really cause a lot of harm because there's nothing pointing that way. It would hit there and it would hit the back of this unit, and fortunately for him he does turn this unit around, so he's going to have some pikes sticking that way. But that would be the best place to charge. There and probably here, because it would crush that unit from two ways in the sides and it would rout, and if that routed the other two it would be gone instantly. And he wants to get a good run up here. Basically he just wants to smash them, like crush it in like a vice at this stage, because if he does that, the Carthaginian Empire is going to rout instantly. And he wants more run up than this. He doesn't want to get this close and just sort of walk into it, or get like a jog into it, or a trot into it, I suppose, if you could consider it the horse. He wants a full charge into it. So hitting the sides here, so he's going to hit the right place, and these men are going to turn around. Those Sacred Band are going to lose big numbers. And now what he needs to do is immediately follow up with all his guys crushing from every side, and he's going to do that, and you'll watch these. Look at that, right in an instant, just gone like that. So that's how you deal with that.
Only frightened rabbits running from our men.
And that was probably he really, the Carthaginian player was at his best when he had the units sort of all in that circular formation here at the very beginning of that cluster, because there was like pikes pointing every way. Not that he'd ever win, but he'd take more cataphracts down and increase his chances. So I'm just going to triple speed here, guys. So I advise you just sort of skip till however long this is going to take. If you know some good editing software that doesn't reduce the quality of your overall video, leave a comment. I would really like to know that, because I don't like when this happens, because it's kind of boring, and there's some just chasing off routers here. So just skip ahead towards the end, until the end sequence comes up there and you can read the end results. But if you know any good editing software, because I've used like Windows Movie Maker, but every time I do it, the video quality reduces. So just skip like 2 minutes of just nothing happening, or 2 or 3 minutes of just this sort of thing here out, and it reduces the whole quality of the video we're doing. So it just doesn't seem worth it to me. So I just have to put up with it. But if any of you actually know, I've seen lots of people do it in other videos like Era of Carthage and whatever others, and they seem to do it, but I don't know what software they use, and if you have to buy it, or if there's any good free software for editing videos better. Because if you could, if I could find something like that, I'd skip these long periods of sort of just me fast forwarding out. But anyway, enough of me waffling on about that. It was a good fight there. The Parthian wins, his last man standing by default, but that doesn't mean he's won. But I thought he'd be in for a very good chance, because he killed those Sacred Band, which are a high quality unit, those Urbans and my cataphracts, 3 extremely high quality units, and has a lot of his army still alive. So he is. I actually thought he'd very likely win, simply because of those reasons. So anyway, it's about to come up. Very nearly about to come up, and I'll put it on normal, and to my surprise I actually won this, and as you can see, Baltic actually got the same amount of kills, and he came in last. He came in dead last. I actually do not know how that happened, because he got so many high quality kills, and as you can see, Armenia killed a lot more men than I did. He killed 400 more men than me, and Jack Rabbit got 200 more men than me. So it's quality. The quality of those Urbans that I killed, and Victorians, and some of those cataphracts were obviously a lot more valuable than anything these other guys killed. But it's sometimes really hard to tell with squad resolution. So what I've gathered over my gaming time on Rome is that it's quality. The better quality units, the more likely you are to win if you kill high quality units, and if you kill, and how many of your men survive too. So if we look at my Silver Shield pikemen, they got pretty owned, as was to be expected, but my cataphracts, all of them did pretty well. Militia cav added good support. Archers were I couldn't really protect them. If the Parthian hadn't rushed in there and wiped them out, I'm sure they would have been effective, but I couldn't protect them, so they were useless this fight. But that's not, no fault of their bad performance on their part. But the cataphracts get the kills as to be expected. So good game to Acadian, Jackrabbit, Baltic, and Thorin. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I did, and I was a bit surprised by the end result here, but nonetheless it was good for me. Thank you guys for playing, and thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon next time.